heading up to the code 3 chase. Suspect was last reported southbound on Highway 99.
Can you give me more info on that call? Just clearing another call. I'm headed over there. Closing fast on a vehicle that matches the description. That reported party? All units go to condition 2. Piled into a rig, stand by. I'm gonna try to get in front of this guy, slow him down. 016, 1023 with the pursuit.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Tuesday. Terrible Tuesday. Back to work. Yeah. We're back to work. Back to work. What in the world is going on? Damn it, guys. I start my second job this week. I just want to let you know. I start my second job this week. I'm going to Wendy's. I'm working the Wendy's shift now every single Thursday and probably Tuesday starting next week. So I wanted to give you a shout out. Thank you again for stopping on by, checking us out. Going to continue doing what we do, but we may have to change up the times We'll have to see here in a bit. Bitcoin, man. What's the corn doing? How are you guys doing? How the hell are you guys doing? That's what I want to know. Let me know in the chat. But yeah, the corn. Look at the corn. What's going on with the corn? It's not really growing. It's actually falling. Look at this. Look at this. Guys, I don't like to brag, but holy shit, was I on a roll yesterday. Oh my god, I was like on fire with this prediction last night. Right on target. Look at that. Yeah, so that was me. That was me. I hate to, hate to burst your bubble, but yeah, that's, again, just paying attention to our time zones. This is where it lands of course, the sentiment lands onto the map, into the chart. Anywho, just, brushing that off a little bit before we get started. But yeah, Bitcoin, of course, sold off this morning. As we've seen that huge pump over the weekend. Of course, what are we going to do? We're going to sell that off. People are going to take profits. So boom, we sold off, and here we are, here tonight, sitting at 57. Oh, we're recovering a little bit since we started the show. 57.5, roughly. 57.5. Of course, this is the heat map brought to you live for free by Kimba the White Snow Lion. An anime reference for those who know. Of course, being an otaku, got to bring in the anime references in the space. But yeah, looks like everything's just kind of right when we started to show this flash crash. Man, that was heated, man. But look at this, and we pretty much wiped out all of the longs and the shorts. There's like hardly anything left over. It's looking like a pretty positive night, I'm not going to lie, for Japan to open, as we're already starting to see that. They still have an hour to open. To me, it's just like, it's just brainless, man. It's just it was so easy, it's right there. But I mean, we're only going to get so high tonight. So that's kind of what's going on with Bitcoin. I don't want to spend too much time to it. We'll get into that at the very end of the stream, but as we usually do. But I mean, we still got to reclaim these levels. We got to go back to 60K. For it to be bullish, right? 61, arguably, to really get us out of there. I mean, that's where we are. We're still below that trend line, man. It sucks. We've lost that trend line. We got to continue that trend line and give, of course, Bitcoin Chan a surprise. You know what? Right in the gut. You know what? That's kind of where we're headed. I'm sorry, but you're kind of in the way. All right, moving on. All right, let's get into our market data, sentiment, all the normal stuff. That's our bear for today. Our September as we start the month in red. All right, let's get into it, guys. Let's get into it. First, of course, we're going to get into U.S. dollar. We're negative, guys. We're always negative. Every single day we're negative. But look at this. Another 3 billion, almost 4 billion printed today alone. We just looked at this last night at 280 billion over our $35 trillion limit that was blown through at the beginning of August, right? So here we are. Here we are again. Just keep going, printing more numbers, man. It's fine. It's election year. Fear and greed for the stonks. Let's going to refresh that. It's sitting at 65 currently. Yeah, still in greed, as stonks are looking for a really positive, Fed reading next week. That's going to be next Wednesday, guys. A week from tomorrow. We're going to start counting it down tomorrow. Every single day, like we used to do back when we were waiting for the halving, of course. That was fun. And of course, crypto fear and greed sitting at currently at 26, just a hair away from extreme fear. Now at 27. Well, it's getting a little chilly in here now. And again, guys, if you're here for the long haul, don't let this thing scare you. We're going to get into all of the metrics that are positive for our space and some that are negative. 101.7 on the Dixie, guys. The dollar is still kind of, dunzo. Still kind of, clinging on to some life. It's like, we almost hit that 99, and then no, we came back up a little bit. It's fine. We'll come back down. We'll come right back down. All right. And then, of course, crypto bubbles. Everything in the red. Damn, dude. This was looking nice on the day this morning. I was happy. Some of my bags were pumping again. But yeah, we fell back down. We got some positive news in some countries, particularly if you read my thumbnail, Japan getting some positive sentiment with again more legislation being possibly passed for pro crypto stances in Japan. Next, since the last one we've ever heard of, it was back in February, which pushed JASMY to the moon, right? When we broke out of, we were at like half a penny back then. And JASMY went to about three or four pennies in the wake of madness of February and March. And of course, that was because Japan got proper legislation for crypto investors, particularly venture capitalists, to invest in Japan. So that's something I'm going to add on today when we get into the news. There isn't too much news today, guys. There isn't too much news, but I did handpick a few nice bangers. All right, and then, of course, my favorite indicator of all time, how many biddies are left on all exchanges. All exchanges. Look how much of a hole we keep digging, guys. This is crazy. Still sitting at 2.38 million. Again, just your daily reminder, that's all that's left for 8 billion people to fight over, which is going to only be, what we say, 0.0003 Bitcoin for everyone if they were to buy right now. Right now. That's it. That's it, guys. As we wait for the miners to mine the rest over the next 100 years. Okay, moving on, of course, to ETFs. ETFs sitting in, nothing really changed with MicroStrategy, of course. Hoping every day he gets another announcement. iShares, of course, 357,000. Probably still days and days behind, of course. This is August 26th. We're going to get a new source. That's it. I've had it. Bitcoin Treasuries, done. We're done with you. We're done with you. Because I know BlackRock has already purchased another 1,000 or 2,000 Bitcoin since. All right, we're done with that one. Okay, then the top 10 crypto assets. Nothing really moving. Toncoin still sitting at number 10. Cardano at 11 and Avalanche at 12. The big, of course, the ones in between the top 10. Do we really need to go back down here and check on JASMY? It's probably sitting at 70 on the day. Oh, we fell down even further. Ooh, look at that. Where the hell is JASMY? Holy crap. Okay, 63. Whoa. I take that back. I take everything back. It's actually made a little bit of ground today. All right, moving on. Top 10 assets in the world. Bitcoin's still sitting at number 10 as it only took 15 years for it to become number 10. Guys, it's insane. It took gold. I mean, gold's been around for thousands of years. Apple's been around for, what, since the 80s? How old am I? 30, 40 years, right, guys? Microsoft, same kind of thing. NVIDIA, I would argue a little less than that, which is pretty good for them. And of course Amazon, man, 90s, late 90s. Some of these are insanely incredible, and Bitcoin's gonna blow right through them. It's only a matter of time. Okay, and then our last metric, of course, is the Bitcoin Rainbow chart, sitting at a fire sale. We did it. Yes. All right, Benny. I'm sorry. The last time we teased Benny, he got a little singed, but we didn't quite set him entirely on fire. Today, of course, we're going to finish Benny off. I'm sorry, Benny. You probably won't be able to go back to the bank after this one. But it's a fire sale today, guys. It's a fire sale. There it is. Benny up in flames. Woo! Oh, hopefully it doesn't burn the studio down. Oh, my God! No! All right. It's a fire sale, guys. Buy some Bitcoin. Buy some crypto. It's on sale. Literally like a fire freaking sale, guys. Everything. All your favorite projects are on sale today. As we should probably overview, just some ones that you probably should be taking a look at. Some, of course, your favorites being, of course, Bitcoin, right? Sitting at the fire sale. Zone in the Bitcoin Rainbow chart. JASMY down, of course, under 2 cents. I'm never going to stop shilling JASMY. Solana under 150, sitting at 129, 125 right now, whatever it is. I mean, that's amazing. Anything under 200, I'd say, is fair value for Solana. It's insane. Fetch AI. I mean, come on, that's going to be partnered with. They're not really down too much today. Okay, I wouldn't say that's a huge picker up right now. But yeah, there's plenty of projects, guys. I'd love to know what you guys are throwing your money at right now. You already know I'm throwing all my money in JASMY right now. I've got a ton of legacy bags I'm holding on to. But yeah, buy some of this dip. It's going to be great. All right, moving on. Turkey seeks to join BRICS nations. That's, of course, our, collaboration of world economies of Brazil, Russia, India, China, I always get the last one. South Africa, right? And that because Saudi Arabia also joined, and they also start with an S. And then you have now Turkey. Why? Well, it came out today and said they are 61% in. The Turkish lira or whatever is 61% inflated, right? So they're suffering from this inflation. I think they're a year over year 61%. Within the decade, they're over 100% inflation. So they're like, we got to get out from underneath our own currency, yet alone having to rely on the U.S. dollar. As people still tuck away dollars under their beds at night in Turkey. So that's what's happening right now. As Turkey is reportedly formally requested to join the BRICS nations economic bloc to expand its global influence and establish new alliances beyond the traditional Western partners. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, oh man, I am butchering his name, I'm sorry. Administration views the shifting geopolitical landscape as an opportunity to strengthen ties within both Eastern and Western nations while remaining committed to NATO. That's interesting. You can do that? You can join BRICS while also being committed to NATO? I'd love to see how that works out. Erdogan emphasized that to the importance of balanced international relations. Interesting. Turkey seeks to join BRICS to expand the global influence and build new alliances. In a speech in Istanbul over the weekend. That's not Constantinople, right? You can't go back to Constantinople. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan emphasized the importance of balanced international relations, yada yada. We do not have to choose between the European Union and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, as some people claim. On the contrary, we will have to develop our relationships with both of these organizations on a win-win basis. It looks like that's what they're doing. It looks like their opportunity to strengthen relations with both Eastern and Western countries, maintaining its commitments to NATO, to move comes an ongoing frustration over the lack of progress in Turkey's decades-long attempt to join the European Union. That's pretty much it. BRICS, of course, is a combination of all these nations I mentioned, although I did not mention Ethiopia, Egypt, as well as United Arab Emirates, and Iran. That's a recent add-on, is Iran. The group's potential further enlargement with Turkey as a contender is expected to be discussed at the summit Kazan, Russian order in October. That's a month away. We're going to have more and more and more countries joining BRICS. Again, just your daily reminder, guys, for BRICS. BRICS was created when? 2008, 2009. Why? Because of our economic crisis we created in 2008 and 2009. Also, Bitcoin was created. Coincidence? In 2008, 2009, for the same reason. Everyone is done. Everyone's done with the control that this market has over all of us. All right, moving on. And analysts anticipate Bitcoin falling to 40K. All right, this is something that we got to talk about. We got to get this out there. We can't all just be, as Bitcoin hodl likes to, British hodler likes to call it, happy hippies, right? We have to go over and talk about these real case scenarios because this possibly could take into effect. Bitfinex's analyst expects Bitcoin price to potentially drop to the low 50,000s to 40,000s if the Federal Reserve cuts interest rates this month. We're going to take a look at the end of the stream, but I do kind of see there's room there to fall further. I wouldn't maybe not go as far as 40K, but maybe 49. 49K is at play right now. 55K is at play right now. We don't want to lose those levels because we need to remain bullish between 58 and 60, K, those ranges. We've been stuck there now for, I feel like, months. Bitfinex predicts Bitcoin's volatility among upcoming interest rate changes. This could, I could see that. Again, we've seen it happen before. Everyone gets the sell the news event. Everyone has the news already in the back of their mind. We've been thinking about this event, right? Fed rate cut, first one in years. We've been sitting on Bitcoin, right? In the bear market with the Fed going negative, right? Taking us into the rates, up in the rates. Interest rates, and we haven't done anything but sit on our hands. Now we are at the cusp of it. And I do see a potential for it to fall further on the back of this news. It can't just all be up and to the right. But if the larger we have, like I always say, the larger we have the big pullback like that, the larger we have the pump to replace it. So God candle afterwards. So we'll take a look. We'll take a look at some of those possible scenarios. But yeah, assuming the price of Bitcoin is at around 60K before interest rates are cut, this would place a potential bottom between the low 50s or the mid 40,000 levels. Some people are crazy out there talking about sub 16K, 15K Bitcoin dropping that low. I mean, that's insane. That's insane. I don't think we're going to go that low. But we could scare some weak hands out of the market in the $40,000-$50,000 ranges. Possible. It's possible. But man, BlackRock's going to have a heyday. They're going to have a hard time keeping their hands clean that week. All right, so this is not arbitrary numbers, but it's based on the fact that the cycle peak in terms of percentage return reduces by around 60 to 70% each cycle, which we still haven't had a huge, tremendous pullback since the all-time highs. But yeah, this logic could be negated quite easily if the macroeconomic conditions change. The most we've had right now, guys, is only like 25%, not even. Again, like if we would have had to hit 75K and then fall to 50K for us to have even a 25% correction, and we haven't had it. Bitcoin's been running all year. I don't care people crying and complaining at 60K, but it's been running all year, man. It's incredible where we are today, where we were the same time frame last year before we got this whole thing started. Yeah, so he also says the historical price action for September also aligns with their view of a projected 20% drop in Bitcoin's prices following a rate cut. Kind of what I'm talking about here. Like we just haven't pulled back enough. So yeah, that's the general kind of sentiment right now is sell the news event. Everyone has that in the back of their mind, and that's what's going to possibly take place after the Fed, makes their decision on next Wednesday. Okay, NFTs, guys. Are they dead? Are they dead? Let me know. I don't have that many NFTs. I got some free NFTs that were, given to me over the years, but I haven't really invested any real money into them. But according to the 2024 report, finds that 96%, of all NFTs are declared dead amid market instability. Recent report by NFTevening.com reveals a troubling state of non-fungible tokens, NFTs, in the market, with 96% of NFTs now considered dead. It is dead, sir. It is left this earth. Jeez, it ceased to exist. The great Monty Python skit there with Dead Parrot. The analyst, I need a dead parrot. I need to just start beating a dead parrot over these dead coins that go by. The analyst highlights the high unprofitable rate among holders and the fleeting lifespan of most NFTs. Yeah, man. I mean, NFTs, really, I don't think they're dead, but I mean, they're really not going to pop off until people have no money to pull out. They're just spending ETH on chain, right? That's how it all blew up anyway in 2021. So as highlighting in a NFTevening.com's report, the once celebrated future of digital ownership, the NFT market is currently grappling with significant hurdles. Report scrutinizes over 5,000 NFT collections and around 5 million transactions to assess the present state of the market. So yeah, 96% of the NFTs were deemed dead, meaning the exhibited zero trading volume, minimal 7-day sales. I'm curious to how many of you guys you actually have NFTs, like actually went out, purchased them, believe in them. I mean, some of the projects are really interesting. Some of the technology that can evolve is interesting, especially with smart contracts. But I just don't think we have that kind of killer app yet, right? We don't have that kind of killer app that's going to evolve NFTs in the space where they need to be. Like, I still say that NFTs right now, the perfect application for this would be Pokemon. I still hold by it, man. Every Pokemon be locked into an NFT. You'd have to trade it person to person. It's the perfect technology for Pokemon. Or any kind of collection, anyway, for that matter. Additionally, the report sheds light on the financial strain experienced by NFT investors, with more than 43% of holders finding themselves in the red. On average, these investors are faced a 44.5% dip. I wonder if some of this also is attributed to Donald Trump selling his new NFT collection. He's already, I think the original collection was like, 20,000, then it was 40,000. Now the latest collection is like 100,000 or maybe 1 million. I don't know how many of his tokens he now has, NFTs, that he's minted or has available to mint, but it's not doing very well. And I think that's pretty clear. I mean, we pretty much exhausted this market at this time. So yeah, that's kind of the gist of this article. NFTs are they're kind of done, but I still feel like we're gonna see it. You know when to get out of the space next year is when NFTs start pumping again. That's when you got to get out. People have made too much money; they're just blowing it on pictures of dogs and frogs and apes again. Anywho, Google Trends data reveals cooling interest in Bitcoin amid market uncertainty. Yeah, this is what we cover every single night. Every single night, the very end of our show, we look at the normies, where the Google Trends are, and we have not seen Bitcoin at all. At all. The closest we have to our space has always been in the last couple months. We had Bitcoin on there once. It's mostly been NVIDIA, Google, AI, and the like, right? Microsoft, Apple. Yeah, so, as Bitcoin prices slip under $60,000 in early September, once the electric excitement around Bitcoin seemed to have dimmed, as reflected in Google Trends data. Back in January 1st, 2024, the Bitcoin was coasting along with the score of 57 out of 100. Yeah, that's right. It's pretty much fallen to a 32. We've been stuck there for months. Bitcoin's global search dips. And we'll take a look at that here in the end of the stream. This is the same chart we look at every night. Interest over time. It'll come back up. It'll come back, especially when people are like melting faces. Oh my God. And telling their friends and family, and everyone's just like FOMOing in, and then we're going to be like 100K in no time. According to year-to-date data on Google Trends, GT El Salvador leads the world in interest with the search Bitcoin, with Nigeria, Switzerland, Austria, Netherlands following close behind. El Salvador, of course, always is going to be leading the trend because people are still figuring out in their own country how to use Bitcoin. Of course, that's being Bitcoin country. So that doesn't surprise me. Although some of these other countries are now becoming more progressive with Bitcoin. So, I feel it's fair. This is of course the 5-year Google Trends of the search Bitcoin. We could look at most of this like we do every single night. Anywho, moving on. Ripple expands blockchain presence in South Korea, of course, and Japan. All right, this is our first news into Japan tonight. This evening we got some more. Ripple expands blockchain presence into Korea and Japan. It collaborates with Futureverse and enhances XRPL. That's their stable coin, and Project Digital Resources in emerging tech fields. New initiatives by Ripple to introduce smart contracts is, of course, competing with the likes of Ethereum on the XRP blockchain. This is huge, guys. Huge. It's been coming out today. It's kind of breaking this entire day. And expand RPL's uses by 2025. A positive consumer interaction follows Ripple's partnerships in Korea and Japan, signaling increased shareholder trust. Ripple has expanded into blockchain efforts in Korea and Japan with new alliances aimed at enhancing the XRP ledger. The announcements are as follows. Ripple's expansion into Asia. The company's recent partnerships into South Korea and Japan are crucial for the strategy to grow its presence on the continent. These agreements are centered at making XRPL, that's of course their stablecoin, more programmable, which has been a key and request of XRP members. The CEO, Brad Garlinghouse, mentioned that these improvements will help developers build more advanced applications on XRPL. This may be the first true stablecoin with smart contracts built in. That'll be interesting if that's the case. I'm not sure how that's going to work. This will ultimately benefit both crypto native users and businesses. Ripple is on the ground this week in Korea and Japan, starting off with a few announcements, all in service of the global strengthening of the foundations of crypto infrastructure and blockchain support, utility, and usability for institutional adoption. Ripple is also partnered with Futureverse, a business specializing in AI. Of course, AI, you guys know. AI, of course, is coming. Take your jobs. If you haven't forgotten, you're living under a rock. Right? AI's coming. So I work at McDonald's, man. I see my job being replaced every single freaking day. If you're a driver, you're a telemarketer, a lawyer, an accountant, a data entry clerk, a bookkeeper, a receptionist, a bank teller, a travel agent, a factory worker, or of course a fast food worker like me, your jobs are at risk every single day. They're coming, and we inch closer and closer as the robots, as we covered yesterday, are more likely to roll out faster and sooner than the self-driving taxis. Elon Tesla's already kind of came out and said that robots are more ready than the self-driving taxis. It's insane. It's insane. And of course, don't forget about your friends and family and your loved ones, as they will be replaced, even in the bedroom, because they can do things you can't do. And you won't admit it either. But so if you got some Tesla stock, I guess you're bullish on that. Anywho, so that's what's going on. In of course the AI space, I had to intervene, segue into that, as I normally do, our dystopian segment. Yes. But yeah, Ripple has also been partnered with Futureverse, which is a business specializing in AI and metaverse technology, which is going to replace everything you do every single day with a digital version of XYZ. Futureverse now uses Ripple's custody services to protect its digital assets. The company has also adopted the XRPL NFT standard, and it uses XRP as the gas token on its root network. This partnership further involves its emerging tech fields. So yeah, this is huge for XRP. Again, having a smart contract on a large blockchain, a fundamental blockchain, a blockchain with a huge backing of community, right? XRP has been around forever. This lawsuit's been going on forever. There's a huge support for this community. And I see positive things moving forward for this. I don't agree with everything Ripple's doing. Trust me. I don't even know if I agree with anything they're doing. But I know it's gonna make some people some money. So you gotta support the communities that are supporting these chains to some extent. Anyway, moving on forward. Japan to slash crypto tax rate to 20% amid investors' worry. This is Crypto Land News, brought to you by Crypto Newsland. But yeah, Japan is reviewing reducing its crypto tax from 55%, which is insane, to 20%, which is even lower than here in the United States. If you hold the damn asset for a year, you still pay 25% in some states. This set tax rate is to merge digital assets taxation with other financial grounds like stocks. This could change to attract more investors, improving the position as a leading country for crypto innovation. This is what I said before at the beginning of the year. We have to Japan, if they got to move fast in order to maintain the dominance in the technological space, because the competition right now is it's tough, man. I mean, like Singapore, man's looking at being the crypto capital of the world. Hong Kong's looking at being the crypto capital of the world. South Korea's looking at being the crypto capital of the world. And here we are, Japan's just like, well, they can trade here in February. Venture capital. Oh, you're okay, green light. And then JASMY went to the moon. So I'm expecting when this goes over pretty well, this news goes over pretty well in Japan, we'll start to see some of those coins start to pump that are based out in Japan. That being like JASMY and anything tied to Sony, Bank of Sony, the stable coin for Sony, the Polygon blockchain, settlement, all these coins we've been talking about for the year, man. The whole year we've been talking about all these projects are going to probably pump positively here on the back of these news if they do get proper legislation to push this huge adoption into their market. So interesting to look at Japan by the end of this year to see where they're at. All right, so yeah, I don't think we need to really get into that. Of course, that's the start of this. There is, of course, crypto taxation the Japanese government is considering. This is the Marty Party, tweet that shared this from Japan the middle of last night, I guess. Anyway, moving on. Here we go. How much Bitcoin does the average whale hold? This is kind of some BS news, guys. There's not much news today, but then we're going to get into the normies, as we normally do. Bitcoin averages with the balances between 1,000 and 10,000 Bitcoin hold the largest share at 24% of the total Bitcoin supply. If you are a holder of 1,000 or 10,000 Bitcoin, which is insane, incredible, legendary, epic, king status, boss, whatever you want to call it, it's insane. You're Mac Chad Daddy Michael Saylor himself at that kind of level. Bitcoin averages with 1,000 hold 40% of the whole total supply with 1,000 plus. I thought these numbers are just incredible. As we went over, of course, where you are with your bags yesterday. That current distribution is insane as well. Sitting at here it is. This is the one we went over yesterday. Well, it's a different one, but about the same one. Where you currently are with your bag and the percentile range of what you will be in terms of a holder of Bitcoin. If you hold just 1 to 10 Bitcoin, man, you're less than 2%. You are in the top echelon at just 1 Bitcoin, man. It's insane. This is why people like British Hodler, I keep bringing him up, man. Because he speaks the truth. You need to get to 1 Bitcoin. You do. And if that's too hard for you, I mean, it sucks. It hurts. Try 0.1. If that's too hard, I mean, 0.1, you're at 6% of the population right now. This is going to get even harder to achieve. 0.1, 0.01, 0.001 even at some point it's going to get harder. I mean, 0.01 right now is already between 15% of the top population that hold Bitcoin, or only top 15%. That's insane. So you want to be somewhere in there. Anything's better than 0, as some of the greats have said. Get yourself off 0. All right. So that's all I wanted to get into that again. Just kind of giving you guys some hopium, some push, some momentum, some drive. You gotta push yourself, man. No one can do this for you. All right, moving on. Bitfinex says, sell the news reaction. This is I already pretty much went into this and explained this entire article myself earlier. So pretty much the same thing I was talking about. It probably will be buying the news, sell the event. We're gonna go over that here in the chart just in a few. And then Bitcoin about to mimic Japanese stock market's incredible 1980s rally. I was hoping there'd be a chart in here to just kind of imitate that, just kind of like look back and compare it. But this is what they're referring to here. It looks like this is the Nikkei, right? The Nikkei is, of course, the Japanese stock market. And it looks almost identical to the adoption rate. Wow, that's insane. Since 1980. No, that's the 50s. This is the 80s right here. This particular section right there they're referring to. So yeah, we're looking at that. Basically, as Mark Yusko calls it, the banana zone. Or no, not Paul says the banana zone. Banana zone. Here we go. Banana zone. He even made it yellow for us. So yeah, I can see that we're mimicking that. But what is that really? I mean, I guess we adopted all of Japan's technology in the 80s. That's relevant. So you could look at that as an adoption curve, right? So there's that, but I would be more interested in where it's at against, of course, the internet, right? The internet and the adoption of the internet, which we've looked at before in the past. So I just wanted to show that because I thought that was interesting. Of course, technology drives innovation and growth, and here he is, adoption as well. And we're not that far away from it. We're really not. All right. Getting into the normies, guys. Getting into the normies. Here we go. We're going to blow through this. We can get through this. I shared some of these. I don't know if I can share some of my memes I found on YouTube. Some of these are kind of graphic. But I did find that was one that was really entertaining if you guys are stacking sats right now or JASMY. This is kind of... This one was definitely a head turner. Here's my stream. Yep, there's me. There's bills, food, and rent. And there's the dip. That was me this weekend. It's kind of neglecting all the other things. Yep, and just having a good time. Jesus, buying up that dip. But yeah, we do have, of course, we getting some of that 70K. You missing that 70K right now? I know Wolfie is. Wolfie's missing that 70K right now. Everyone was like, "Oh, we're gonna fit 55. We're gonna hit 70 back 72." We never did. Damn. Oh, yep, and that's what the normies like. They like, pelvic thrusts and, damaging your, oh, God. Me when the $200 in crypto becomes $208 overnight. Yes. That's us right now, guys. We're up like 1%. Yeah, man. Oof. Oh no! Everything comes down, and even Bitcoin. Oh, I don't know about that. Bitcoin at least stays standing a little bit taller. All right, what do we got here? This guy just like trying to. Oh, he's doing push-ups on a knife and a nail. Are you kidding me? That's insane. Yeah, that's crypto right now. Don't get involved in crypto. It's too risky. Crypto guy playing with all the risk. Wow. Wow. I hope that's not real. Jesus. All right. Of course, getting into the Google Trends that we do every single night. Here's where we end it, guys. Before we get back into the Bitcoin chart. Wheelchair tennis is still trending. Yep. That's what that's what we're doing. The yen is trending, which again is really interesting. We're talking about Japan this whole week and last week, and here we are. We're still talking about the yen, probably the carry trade on the yen, and yeah, that's what's going on. The one currency, won. That's not how you spell won. I'm not sure that's just a normie talk, normie spelling. Won. Army Slayton, Linda Sun. Sabalenka, yeah, sports. WON, which I'm assuming it's the won. I thought the won was spelled like WAN or something like that. The won. Is it won? Won. Yahoo Fantasy Football, Taylor Fritz, Krispy Kreme Donuts. Again, man, they've been in there for like days now. Barbie Donuts, of course. Pretty basic stuff, guys, for the normies. Rebecca Cheptitiga, I'm sure this is like sports. Name, sports, tennis, sports. So, yeah, it's pretty much all just normie stuff. We got 2K25 again, sports game release date. People, yeah. And then we got Jimmy McKean, which I think just left the... Republicans for the Democrats. Yeah, so that's it. The normies are pretty normie today. And then, of course, we got Bitcoin trending, like we just covered in the article, which actually highlighted the same thing we see every single day, which is Bitcoin basically flatlining every single day. Every single day since March. We fell off that horse. Of course, the trends. But it'll be too late when people do figure out what's happening in Google and figure it. I mean, yeah, Florida. Look at that. Search interest is pretty high in Florida and Nevada. I wonder if some of these slot machines in Nevada take Bitcoin. Maybe that's why. But yeah, they care about money, right? They're betting on it every day. And in Alaska, that's interesting. Alaska and Hawaii. Wow, still number one in searches on the United States for Bitcoin. All right, guys. Let's get into Bitcoin and see what's going on in the charts. See where we're at. We're at 57.6 currently. We're going to pull the heat map back up and make a look at the chart comparatively. And again, just kind of predict, like we did yesterday. I would say pretty expertly, I would add, with absolutely no experience with with TA. Just looking at charts for 4 years. Yeah, it's looking like with the heat map, it's pretty much at a stalemate. If anything, we're a little, maybe a tad bit oversold, but the sentiment is still at sell, buy back later, fall down, buy back later. As we get closer and closer to the Fed meeting, it's going to be, again, like I said, probably a buy the rumor, sell the news event, or in this case, it's buy the news, sell the news, in my opinion. When Jerome Powell actually delivers the news next Wednesday. All right, so just by looking at this, I mean, again, we're holding this line kind of sloppily at 57.8, 57.5, somewhere in that range. It's it hasn't been completely invalidated yet. I'll change that to red and just keep bouncing off that. And then we'll look back and test what we have back here and see if there's anything else. I mean, I pretty much, like I said, I called it last night. We were going to fall down to that line. We fell back down to that line this morning. Unless we have another sell-off this morning, I really feel like Japan's going to start buying up in about 20 minutes. 25 minutes. Get some of this to recover a little bit back, and then we'll fall back again to the same spot we were tomorrow morning. That's kind of what I see. I mean, it just, I don't know. Unless we have, like, Israel bombing each other overnight. Again, polio, virus is out there now. Maybe that's going to start, delaying some of those efforts to kill each other. I hate that people are doing that, man. I mean, we should be over this stuff by now. I really wish people would just, adopt Bitcoin and just be happy. Jeez. We'd have less wars with Bitcoin, I feel. And less stuff to fight over. Because it'd all be validated. We know whose stuff is whose. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, just by looking at this, I really don't see too much. I'm gonna take Bitcoin Chan off real quick and just draw some funny lines on here, and we'll call it a night. Let's see. So if it plays out like it did yesterday, same sort of thing. We're gonna sell it off. Japan's gonna buy it back up. China's gonna buy it back up. Germany's gonna buy it back up. Between the three, again, the second and third largest and the fourth largest nations, I think they'll pretty much rival what we've already sold off. That's again if they truly, have more stake in the game than we do. Apparently, we have more weak hands in America. With that being said, let's get back in and zoom in and see if there is a pendant forming in the lower time frames. There's really not too much to go by yet. We just kind of bounced, which this could turn into a dead cat bounce too. It's still not too late for that. I could still go big dead cat bounce. For those not familiar, we should start showing some of these. I am familiar with a lot of the trend, a lot of the trends, the patterns, right? Well, let's see, dead cat bounce pattern. We gotta educate people that aren't familiar with this stuff. Man, none of us have played with stonks, man. No stonks. This is a dead cat bounce. That's what I'm talking about. Come back down here and kind of feel like, oh, we're gonna recover, and then you just go bounce, 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 bounce. It's dead. So, could that happen? No, I don't feel like it will. I feel like it's too tight in these ranges to just bounce and fall down from here. Obviously, we know where Bitcoin's going. It's number go up technology. So eventually, we're going to end up and the right. And the narrative right now is still pretty strong. So with that being said, we go back a little further. When was the last time we looked at the large cup and handle pattern that was forming on the daily chart? If you look back there on the daily, you can see this giant cup and handle, which has been starting to form since the bear market, the previous bull market into the bear market. And look at that. It makes that perfect cup and handle pattern over this long 4-year-ish period of time. I would argue and say three years? Yeah, 3-year period. If it reaches November. And yeah, I just want to, again, for people that just catching my stream, I see people kind of coming and going all night. I do want to show some of these patterns so people are aware and start learning them, picking up on them. Cup and handle pattern. And once you identify them, they just stick with you forever. You just see them. It's just kind of like a numbers game, a pattern, like it's like playing Go Fish. All right, so cup and handle. Couple handle pattern. We're teaching stuff tonight, guys. God. Here's the cup handle, what we're looking at right here. Boom. We just kind of create this giant cup, and then you go on for a little bit, right? And you create the handle. Now, for something this large, this is a very large macro pattern, right? So this would have to probably go a little bit longer. We've been going a little bit down as well. It's been kind of sloppy. But, I mean, this is a huge macro event that could be taking place right before our eyes. We also have a smaller time frame one, too. If you look at the 4-hour, this one kind of formed. Maybe we can go back to the daily and zoom in a little bit. You can see it better. Yeah, this one here. This one's starting to form here. So if we can just go sideways a little bit more. We already broke down from that. Never mind. That was before this morning. Dang it. I'm going back into time frames. I remember different patterns forming. That's what happens with patterns, man. That's why TA is not perfect. You think you may see something, and then it becomes something else. This right here is, again, just going into patterns, what you see. This right here is a head and shoulders pattern, right? There's the head. Here's the shoulders. And that is a negative pattern. It's a bearish pattern, right? We're just again going through some things you guys should know by now, or maybe if you're new, you should learn. But yeah, I'm gonna go and just show you that real quick as a reference to the head and shoulders, and the inverse of that, which is obviously upside down, is bullish, right? It's bullish. So we're just teaching some patterns tonight. This is, of course, what I'm referring to as the head and shoulders pattern. And then we have what they call the inverted head and shoulders pattern, which we haven't seen one in a while. Wish we would. But it's the opposite, right? So you have this, again, pattern forming underneath. So hopefully I'm not like pointing out these things behind my screen, but you could argue and say that this was forming at one point, then it was invalidated there. That wasn't inverted and became a head and shoulders pattern later. So again, we just ebb and flows like roller coasters of stuff all the time. So no TA is perfect, right? But if you identify the time frames, you understand what the sentiment is, you also have a better idea what's moving. Anyway, what's Bitcoin doing? What's it doing? Well, we already identified that it fell off this morning, sold off like I called it. Those time frames, again, the most key time frames to pay attention to are from the very beginning of the day, Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m., right? Market open, 9:30, 9 a.m. On the other side of the world, same time period, 9 p.m. on the other side of the world, 9 a.m. for them. So there's the first thing to remember is 9 a.m., 9 p.m., inverted, Eastern Standard Time. And then you have 12, right? Most volatility happens around 12, lunchtime. People are on break. They're sitting there in the cafeteria, or they're sitting there getting on their flights, and they're just trading back and forth, right? Day trading. That all occurs at 12 12 in the afternoon in America, and of course 12 a.m. in the rest of the world. High volatility times. And then you have the final the final key time frame, which is 3 a.m., 3 p.m. Again, 3 p.m. for here in the United States, and then inverse of that, 3 a.m. for Eastern Standard Time here in the United States is for them as well over there, peak time. So if you can remember that, you can time your trades based on the sentiment of the market. This is why I always say I can kind of predict. I'm pretty good at it. 4 out of 5. I don't trade. I don't have anything on the line, but you guys see me. You guys see me just kind of throwing darts and hitting a lot of them. But it's fun. I find it fun. But anyway, so with that in mind, right? With that in mind, as I have to break that down, we are running into 9 p.m. right now. We got about 10 more minutes, 12 more minutes. So we're probably going to see them kind of start to pull back up, right? We've already sold it off for them to buy in the morning when the market opens. Volatility is going to start. They're going to see Bitcoin down 57.8, whatever it is. And they're probably going to see some of that. Sell a tiny bit off in the morning for whoever stragglers are left thinking they got to get out. And then the rest of them are going to buy it back up. Unless there's, again, some macro news that happens that could just invalidate all of that. So that's what I see. And then us just kind of moving back up a little bit into the evening hours. Maybe still off a little bit into 12. Come back up a little. Bring down here to test this somewhere in the middle of the night. In the 3 a.m. something like that. Volatility ensues. We get back somewhere in here right in the morning around 9 a.m. and then we go back down and retest that. Maybe even go a little lower. Who knows? If we can hold 57.8, that'd be nice. But I mean, it's not exciting. But this is kind of what I see happening tonight. It's again very small time frames. And yeah, that is tomorrow the 4th, Wednesday, September. Bear! Jesus. Not bull. At least not until next week. We'll see what happens next week after the sell-off. But yeah, we can kind of predict that too if we want to go into that far out. Maybe we get stuck in these ranges like, woo, until we get, let's go to the daily chart. Let's see where that puts us out. This is some silly nonsense, man. I love it though. It's the 4-hour chart. Might get us as far into the 12th, which is the 11th. 9/11. 9/11 is the day they're gonna have the Fed meeting. So that, yeah. I went a little over it. Dang it! I went a little over. Shoot. Oh my God. So yeah, let's just clean that up a little bit, and we'll throw a what if. Just the silly one. To see how crazy this gets. I don't know. I might be like channeling dead people or something, or maybe future people. Some of this stuff ends up being accurate. But yeah, something like that until about 9/11. 9/11. There we go. 9/11. And then, yeah, if we haven't even touched that yet, I mean, we've seen. If I remember correctly, it was 2022. We started getting these not rate cuts, but rate increases, rate hikes, right? We kept getting these rate hikes over and over. The Fed just kept slamming us with them. Oh my God, it was brutal. But Bitcoin was still staying within these ranges, man. It was crazy between I think it was like 30K at one point. And then we finally broke down into the 16K area, which was amazing back then. On the backs of these, high pressure time periods with Jerome Powell back in 2022 and 2023, and just hoping that they would stop and they would cut at least once. Even with the banks collapsing last year, they didn't cut. With that being said, if they do cut, we could still get a bit of a sell-off, maybe, a bit of a pump. Who knows? Maybe it'll be delayed. Maybe it won't be until, my guess is, it'll start in the morning. We'll get the news around 12 or 1. We'll get the written report, right, around 12. And then we won't get him to come out until about 1. I can't even get those 1 hour. Yeah, 1 hour candles here. I can't believe I'm predicting this right now. It is so silly. But I've seen it so many times, especially Jerome, man. I've been watching that guy for freaking 4 years now. It's ridiculous. That would kind of throw us down into... he comes out and talks. Woo, we go down. Oh no, we hit this. Maybe we can go even further. Maybe we hit 55 and scare the whole market out. And then we just, all of a sudden, we just start channeling right back up, blow through, and freak everyone out. And maybe even get back to 60 like right away. If we haven't already gotten there by that point. That's kind of what I see happening next week. Again, just scaring everyone out. Getting that is that really AM? It better not be 1 AM. Oh my god. I hate these. Man. I guess I could move these to where they should be. 9 AM. Okay. 1 PM. There we go. That'd be when we sell off when he gets on the podium. Something like that. Yeah. So that's kind of what I see. And that puts us into Friday that week. That might even be a little too late, honestly. It might be something like that. And then, again, right before the end of the day would be around 3 p.m. We'd already start to correct. So it would be like something like that. Again, from what I've seen in the previous, Powell talks, speeches, and all that stuff. But anyway, that's my crazy prediction, guys, for this couple weeks. Let's see how it goes. I'm gonna color this in a fun color because it is for fun. I'm not a mind reader or a carny or whatever. I don't know, a fortune teller. But it's fun. I think it's fun. This will probably happen though. I still think that will probably work out that way. And we'll do more realistic ones every night. I wonder if this will knock Bitcoin Chan right out. If I turn her back on. It probably will. Oh, I can't see her on the large time frames. That's right. Dang it. There we go. Yep, that would. Yep, sucker punch her right in the gut. I got until yeah. By then, yeah, we'd probably just uppercut her in the face. Man, poor Bitcoin Chan's getting beaten up, man. We gotta get her on that rocket and just send her to the moon. Full send it. All right. So that's what I think is going to happen with Bitcoin. I think that's what's going to happen this week. I think it's going to be a kind of a lackluster week. It's going to be about hype and about washing out all the longs and the shorts and just wrecking everybody up until the day Powell gets out there. Unless we get some large macro announcements. We do have the debate also next week. I think that's happening. I think it's the day before Powell. I think it's happening the 10th. I think it's Tuesday next week, a week from today. So that's another thing to look out for. I do not think they're going to talk about crypto at all. So don't hold your breath. And yeah, that's all I got, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you like and subscribe and do all the things as I build this community out. It's been fun, man. It's been fun. And don't you forget about your future in this dystopian world we're creating with crypto every single day. We're going to pay the robots with AI. Don't you forget to also orange pill your loved ones. Take some of these orange pills. They're good, man. They're orange freedom. They taste great. They're wonderful. Anyway, I'll catch you later, guys. Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. Don't be selling your bags. Hold on to your bags. Stay strong, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take it easy. Peace.
According to the Wall Street Journal, the agency informed the NASDAQ and the CBOE that BlackRock and Fidelity's proposals are insufficient.
We can make the dollar the most attractive currency by continuing to have the rule of law.
You can always print money to do that.
I suppose it would diminish our status as the reserve currency.
Just shut up. There's no expectation of privacy. Above me in the sky.
So Bitcoin is the solution because you can buy Bitcoin right.
Don't you forget it's a fire sale! Don't you forget you're still at the Bitcoin fire sale! Oh my god! Ah!
Bet.